Should you take the weekend off from writing? Let's talk about that today. So, if we talk about writing 500 words every day, does that include the weekends? Does that mean that you're going to turn yourself into a writing machine and every single day you're going to write 500 words? Maybe if you choose to do that, that's fine. That's what I did for the first year as I developed this habit and as I really focused on that daily discipline of writing. However, I also think that there's a time and a place where you need to take a breather from writing. For me, sometimes writing feels like work. It feels like something that I am producing. And so I put it in the work category, not in the leisure category. And sometimes on the weekends, I need a little bit of leisure. Do you? Maybe you do. And if you do, here's my suggestion. On the weekdays, write in your manuscript. Write 500 words a day in your manuscript. That'll get you 2,500 words every week pretty consistently. If you do it consistently, chances are you'll actually find that you write more than 2,500 words on those days. Because remember, 500 words is the minimum that you write. But what about Saturdays and Sundays? Your schedule may be different, your pace may be different, you may just want something different. Well, if that's the case for you, then do that. But especially if you're new to this daily discipline of writing, I would encourage you to still write every day, but write something different on the weekends. One of the things that I like to do is use my Saturday writing time for planning my week and productivity tasks. If I'm feeling overwhelming, it's really helpful for me to do a brain dump. And I do all of that in my journal. It gets me to 500 words. It keeps me in that writing mindset where every morning I still have my writing time. The habit is there, but what I am writing is really different. It's beneficial to me and it works for me. Maybe something like that would work for you. Maybe you want to use your Saturday time for something that's more fun and creative. Maybe you're working on a nonfiction manuscript during the week, and on the weekends, maybe you want to play with some fiction or some poetry, or maybe just some different kind of genre of writing than what you usually do. That's a great time to do that. Maybe you want to work on a specific skill in your writing, like maybe enhancing your descriptive writing, not for the manuscript, but just to work on that skill. Maybe you want to do writer's prompts that are quick and unusual, and maybe will lead to something in the manuscript, but maybe they're just for fun. That's a really good weekend leisure kind of writing activity. For me, on Sundays, I like to do reflective writing. Often I will incorporate things from my Bible study, or maybe I will put prayers in my journal and I will practice something that is more reflective in my writing. Often on Sundays, I'm kind of naturally feeling that tendency to look inward a little bit more, to just consider things a little bit more. I'm a little more thinking and in my head on Sundays. That just seems to be the rhythm of my week. Whatever it is that you want to do with the weekends, feel free to do that. Perhaps it's chugging away on your manuscript and getting those words in. That would be great. Perhaps on Saturdays you have a little extra time, and so you intentionally decide to write for an hour instead of a half an hour because you can on Saturdays. Don't raise the bar to more than 500 words, but if you have more time, that often means that you'll write more than 500 words, and that's great. Feel free to do that. Weekends can be a different kind of writing, but what my suggestion with the write method is that you write every day. Write something every day, whether it's in the journal or in the manuscript. But that daily, consistent writing habit is how you end up writing books, even when you're writing a lot of words in your journal. Write every day until it feels off not to write. That's when you know you have a solid writing habit. At that point, if you decide to structure your week where you're only writing 5 days and you take weekends off, that can work just fine. We often have habits that aren't every single day, and that's okay. But if your dream is to write a book, you need to have that daily consistency of a small chunk every day. Follow that tortoise's advice and be slow and steady, and you'll have a book in no time.